Welcome back to, I guess it's not really New World Tank Mastery anymore. But I am still Ty James, and I am still your mother's favorite online video game tank. Let's not get any of that twisted. Now, why is it no longer going to be really New World Tank Mastery, I guess? It's because if you haven't heard, which I don't know how you wouldn't have already heard by now, because it's all over our Discord, it's all over my channel in the comments, and it's all over just about every New World creator's ecosystem that New World is shutting down. And I cracked the code. Guys, I have the inside intel on why it shut down. I have the inside intel. You guys are ready for this? It's because us as the tank squad, we beat the game. We finished it, right? We crafted the best in slot tank build, released it on Monday. New World devs were like, oh crap, they beat it. So the following day they said, we're good, we quit. No, I'm kidding. That's not what happened. Now, obviously, big layoffs, right? And I hate to throw a lot of humor in. I throw humor in everything. It is what it is. But big layoffs happened. Keep in mind, the devs, I see a lot of videos and they're like mad at the devs and a lot of comments like, how could these devs do this? Guys and gals, the devs just lost their job. They just got fired, right? Their source of income, their source of providing for their family, providing for themselves, their source, their livelihood is gone, right? So it's leadership that you should be blaming. It's the leadership in the upper echelons of Amazon that is to blame. So before you guys start just like, dogging on all these devs, just remember they lost their jobs. It was guaranteed not their decision just to stop developing the game. It came from above, right? Me as a business owner, your job as leadership, this is the role of leadership. You cast vision, remove barriers. That is your role as leadership. And obviously the leadership in who is in charge of the studio or in charge of above the studio lost that. They lost that along the way. They're looking at bottom line things. They're not really looking at their vision and removing the barriers for the devs. Instead, they put a big barrier up for the devs called you're fired. Sorry, we can't afford you guys anymore. We got to lay you off. So I want to premise this video first by saying, just keep in mind about that thing with the devs. They all just lost their job. So it's not their fault. Okay. So if you haven't seen the post, let me show you the post real quick. Not a whole lot of, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but basically season 10, Night Haven is going to be the last final content release for New World. And they're no longer going to be updating or patching or anything or working on it because the studio is gone. The studio is no more. Everybody's been laid off. Okay. So they are keeping the game servers open through 2026. Now, they specifically didn't mention an exact date in 2026. So we don't know if that's quarter one. We don't know if that's quarter two. We don't know if that's the end of quarter four. And all of a sudden the servers are gone. But you will still be able to play going into 2026. So I see two different camps on both sides of this. One camp of players are saying, why would I continue to play a game and put in my time, put in my resources into a game that is going to close and end, right? And trust me, I think on both sides of these camps, each has their own specific viewpoint and are correct. And it's correct. You're correct in feeling that way. Why am I going to grind out and get all this gear and do this thing if, it's going to shut down? The other camp, the other, side of the equation are the players saying, look, I really like playing this game. They come so far from just an absolute abysmal launch. And the last 4 years, this team has dedicated themselves to trying to make this game better. And it finally reached a point in which it was a enjoyable game to play, right? Now, don't get me wrong. It had its problems. It had its things. We all had our gripes about certain things. But for the most part, the game had gotten to a state that was still really fun to play, right? So you have this other side of the camp saying, I still really enjoy playing this game. And there's really not a whole lot out there right now in the MMO genre to really replace it. Like you could go back to, WoW or classic WoW if, you could fall back into that. You have like Final Fantasy 14. You have like Elder Scrolls. You've got, Guild Wars 2. And I'm sure some of you guys have experience in all of those, right? Like I've played every one of those games. And I was playing New World because it was what they have done and the changes they did. It brought that fun back to tanking, and it brought that fun back to playing the game and the PvP and things like that, right? So I'm kind of in both camps. I still enjoy playing this game. And this side camp is saying, hey, since I enjoy playing this game, there's not a whole lot out there. I'm just going to keep playing until they kick me out, until literally I go to log in and it just says, no more servers. So I can understand both sides of the camps. Hey, why am I going to put in time if the game's going to go away? And then this side is there's not a whole lot for me to do other than this game. So why not continue playing until they kick me out? Now, what am I going to do as a content creator that is going to, I guess, help us pivot the tank squad where we want to go? I still have access to Ashes of Creation. I'm going to make sure that I give you guys updates on New World because I am still going to continue playing New World, right? And one thing I was curious about with all these posts and everything, and I haven't really gotten an answer from the devs because there's nobody there to answer my emails, was on Tuesdays during normal server reset, and we get a whole new, list or 3 new dungeons or expeditions that become mutated. Who's going to do those rotations on Tuesdays? Because if there isn't going to be a rotation of those expeditions, and we'll find out on Tuesday, this next upcoming Tuesday, when I do the weekly mutation breakdown, is if it's the same 3 and it's the exact same mutation, you're going to see pretty much all tanks leave. Because our best in slot and the thing that we're going to be working towards comes from Glacial Tarn. And if Glacial Tarn's never going to be on that list again because there's no automated, hey, these are the 3 random mutations and these are the 3, or this is the type of mutation that's random and it's already built in. If it took a dev to actually go in there and manually choose which ones, that's not going to happen. So there's not really going to be an actual server reset. The other thing is all those hopes of what are they going to patch in? Or are they going to give us new gear for tanks because they kind of boned us in this season? Nope. It is what it is. The gear is what it is. The weapons are what they are. The skills are what they are. Us other PvP and DPS that we're hoping for daggers, you're never going to see daggers. That's the reality, right? So when you find yourself kind of bouncing between the two camps, just keep that in mind. And then, where's the tank squad going? I'm going to leave this up to a vote. And I know we've been discussing it in Discord. I invite you to put down in the comments below, what's an upcoming game you are excited about that you want me to look into or cover, right? I've played most of the different early accesses and the betas of upcoming games. And I'm going to put together a whole separate video about, games that are coming up that, we should start thinking about, or things that look good. And I'll keep you guys updated on that. Where I'm personally going to take the direction is a game that I have already played that has a pretty good future, right? It's got a lot of mixed thoughts and feelings, which I'll get into that in a separate video. Ashes of Creation, guys. So although I'm going to continue pumping out some New World content, I'm also going to be pumping out some tank content for Ashes of Creation. I'm going to start diving back in there so that I can start assisting anybody new coming into that game on how to be a better tank and how to master tanking in that game so that the tank squad can take over Verra. We're going to go in there. We're going to dominate that game as well. So look up for those videos. Like I said, take it easy on the devs, guys. put the blame on the leadership, not the actual devs. The devs are obviously going through a situation right now where they're found themselves without a source of income. So keep that in mind. Hopefully what this does is it allows a lot of the talent that was behind crafting this game to a better place, allows them to go to maybe, get picked up and hired by some of these other studios that are still developing their game to have a pretty good influence on maybe how that game ends up turning out. Okay. So there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I'm still going to be playing. I'm still going to be on Discord. I'm still going to be making videos for you guys. I'm just going to be starting to transition from New World to Ashes for now. And then I will be posting some videos on upcoming MMOs, my thoughts and things like that. And as always, this channel is not going to change. This isn't going to be some weird scripted channel to give you, raw, uncut. These are the facts. This is the way shit is. And let's do some stuff together. So I'll try and put in a link to the Ashes website. I'll get you guys some more information on if it's still open for people to, sign up to try to get into the alpha testing. I'll get more details on that, and I'll make a different video for that. So I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts because you guys have been asking, what are my thoughts on the shutdown? There it is. Don't go after the devs. More think about the leadership as being who you should be upset with. And then play the game if you want to keep playing the game. I'm still going to be on the servers. I'll be on El Dorado server still. But nobody's going to blame you if you stop, is what it is. I truly believe there's going to be a core group of players still playing because they just enjoy playing this game and they want to play for as long as they can. And nobody can blame me for that. So much love. Thank you guys so much for the support over the past few months of us building up this channel to what it is. I appreciate it. Stick around. We're not going anywhere. The tank squad can't go anywhere because who the hell is going to run everybody through this content if it's not the freaking tank squad? We're the shit, guys, right? You guys are dope. The servers all need you. The video games all need you. So let's find a game that we can all play together and we can all master together. I'm going to start, like I said, working towards Ashes and some of the other games coming up. You got I played Chrono Odyssey, I think it was called. It was basically like a New World clone, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Like I said, I'll make a separate video for all that in upcoming games. So that's where we're going. I will see you guys in the next video. Say hi to your mom for me. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't, because we are going to be taking this tank squad to a whole new direction, and I think you guys are going to like it. All right? We're going to get through this all. I'll see you guys in-game or on Discord. Peace.